In light of the NFLPA releasing their team report cards, Annie Agar took to social media to ask which team had the biggest red flag. And here's the results. Majority of your following said FedEx Field existing, Annie.
I know swayed the voting a little bit on that by putting it that way.
Honestly, I would have gone with the Bucks shower bugs because that is a big concern.
Ooh.
Just the word shower bugs is very concerning.
I didn't know they existed.
I didn't either.
Right? Like, think about
Now I have a new fear.
Did you have any weird things when you were playing like that in the locker room? Like you had to worry about shower bugs?
No. I mean, we had like a stall that didn't have a door that would close, which is unfortunate because guys continued to use it. And we also didn't have a cafeteria. We ate in a tent.
Really?
Yeah, when I was playing for the Chargers.
Well, at least the weather is nice in San Diego.
Yeah.
That was back when they were in San Diego. Let's see what you guys are saying at home. The Browns middle school weight room and the fact that they make their families hang out in a tent from Walmart. Are we sure it's from Walmart?
Teams love tents, allegedly.
Are we sure about that?
low budget.
Let's keep it a buck. I see what you did there. Nothing ruins the peace you have taking a shower like seeing an unwanted six-legged peeper.
That would just be disgusting. I can't get past that. The bugs are...
Just don't mess with my showers here.
Yeah.
Okay, FedEx was so unsanitary it killed off all the bugs.
Yikes.
Washington comes.
Not even the bugs want to go to FedEx Field.
Yeah,
Terrible.
it is rough here. Let's see if we got one more coming at you. Tornado doom to Chargers.
It's a great
LMAO.
handle.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's very in
LMAO.
line with Josh.
Yeah.
He agrees there. All right, well, these are a lot of red flags when it relates to the teams across the league there. And there's more red flags to hand out. You notice that we got our red flags right here, everybody. So let's play a little game of red flag or no flag. Again, play along with us on the stadium app here. Let's get to our first one, starting with Super Bowl hero Mecole Hardman. He's being accused by some Jets players of leaking game plans to the Eagles and Chiefs. Is that red flag or no flag?
I'm going to say... a no flag. What is he going to leak out here? Oh, Zach Wilson's going to throw another check down, and they have a terrible O-line. My 2-year-old cousin could have told you that. I don't understand what his thought process was. If he did leak it, because you said the Eagles and the Chiefs, right? Which they did beat the Eagles. I mean, yes, it's a red flag, but I don't know what the weight of that holds in this situation.
I'm with Annie. You get somebody's game plan. Do we know it's being
We
alleged?
don't even know if it's. And they said he's a disgruntled former employee. He just caught a game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Like, are we sure
a
this
disgruntled
even
employee
happened?
is like a McDonald's worker that got fired irrationally.
It's not the information that he leaked. It's the principle, like the fact that he was willing to do that. Because he admitted on a podcast that he was disgruntled with the Jets there and that he was basically begging the Chiefs to come get him. And when you have like your teammates, your former teammates coming out to social media and kind of airing it out and being like, I mean, you clearly are a bad enough teammate for them to want to come out and call you out on social media. That's a red flag. Like, I don't know if I would want to, like, just be professional. Why do you have to go and like, why are you being accused of that?
It's fun.
I think it's a red flag.
Drama.
I'd love to see the evidence before I decide.
I just think
it was
there's
Thomas
smoke.
Morstead that came out, the punter, and accused him and said, "Oh,
The punter came out. They don't even work out together.
Right.
No." And he was
Exactly.
sitting on his couch during the Super Bowl.
How bad is it that it's leaking all the way to the special teams? The punter.
I'm not believing. You know how I feel about specialists. I'm out.
You know how I feel about the Jets.
You know
so
that's
I'm
bad when the punter's calling you out. All right, let's get to our next one here. It's being reported that new owner Josh Harris is making himself very involved in the Commanders' quarterback interview process at the Combine here. Red flag or no flag?
All right, I'm going to give you just a little bit of why this could be a red flag. I think that there's a world where an owner would want to meet the franchise quarterback to be, especially a guy who just took over ownership of a team. And if you sit in the meetings and you're just partaking and you're acting like it's not your meeting, I'm perfectly fine with that. But this is uncommon. There aren't many owners that actually go to the Combine outside of Jerry Jones. Most of these guys, when they want to meet prospects, they wait until they get them on campus for a visit. They go to a pro day during the private workouts. That's typically how it goes. He wants to do it a little bit differently. It's not an issue. We have seen owners, and particularly with the Commanders, the owner that they just ousted was a guy who was overbearing, overstep boundaries. Could be a little bit of, oh, are we getting into that territory? Not saying it is. But we watched last year with the Panthers. Tepper's like, oh, man, Bryce Young's a guy. There are rumors that the coaching staff was like, I don't think he's the guy, but what are you going to tell the owner? And that's where this can become a problem for me.
I don't think it's a red flag because, like the Jerry Jones situation, he's heavily involved. But, and where people are talking now, maybe he's the issue with the Cowboys. He's the reason they can't get over the hump. He's not the reason they couldn't stop Aaron Jones. He's not the reason CD and Dak had worse chemistry than Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith. Jerry Jones is not the issue. This team was terrible. I don't think it comes down to the owner. Pat Riley with the Heat, he's very vocal, right?
Yeah.
He's out there. But the issue is they win. So I don't think this would be an issue if the Commanders, if these teams were a winning team. Nobody would have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem with him sitting in. He's a businessman. He's as successful as he is because of the way he runs businesses and the way he is. Or does that make sense? Anyways, so for him sitting in there, that doesn't mean that he's necessarily like giving his opinion or actually interviewing. If he's overseeing, he's not getting involved in the X's and O's necessarily, but I think when you are successful as you are, you can tell when you're trying to find a franchise quarterback, you can learn a lot from just in the interview process. And I think it's important for him to give his opinion, but I also understand that he needs to trust in the people that he hired, in the GMs and the head coaches, and that they can do their job properly.
I agree with that generally. I also think that the only barrier to owning an NFL team is cash. Like you're good at business somewhere else, but doesn't mean you're good at that business. And in a lot of these other businesses, I'm not exactly sure that people care about character as much because the employees aren't as public facing. But I do agree with a lot of that. I just hope that these owners understand too that they typically punish the coaches and the GMs for their mistakes, because the Panthers ended up firing everybody, and it was because the owner wanted to call the shots. And that is where, if I was an employee, I'd be like, if this is going to be your pick, that's perfectly fine, but you better stand on it if this doesn't work and we wanted to go somewhere else.